In this video, we go over installing TPMS sensors from Autel. To complete this repair, we're using the Autel Maxi TPMS TS608, which is my most heavily recommended scan tool for someone who is entering into the mechanic profession and works at a facility that also does tires. This is a very affordable, powerful little scan tool that can test all of the systems and, as well, the most important part, program TPMS sensors. So this vehicle is a Chevy HHR. It's one of our vehicles. The scan tool is equipped with a quick VIN decoder, and you can also go ahead and go through manually. The first step to figuring out why your TPMS light is on is to go through and scan all of the TPMS sensors. And in our case, the left front is the one that failed. But we're going to continue on and check the right front, the right rear, and the left rear to go ahead and confirm that those are all reading correctly. So once we've confirmed that our left front sensor is the one that has failed us, we'll go ahead and remove the valve stem and de-bead the rim. Now the reason we have to do that is so that we can go ahead and use our Atlas TC289 tire machine, which we have a video coming out for that as well if you guys are curious about your budget tire machines. We'll need to de-bead it so that we can get access to the TPMS sensor itself without having to completely remove the tire from the wheel. So we have the dual arm assist on this right here, and we can just use that secondary assist to just squash the tire down so we can get good access to the actual sensor itself. Now this sensor is a different style. It uses a T10 Torx head, and what you'll do is you'll unbolt it, and that's how you separate the sensor from the valve stem. Now what I really love about the Autel MX Sensor 1 is that it has a push button quick disconnect. So what's fantastic is you can actually switch this. You can switch it from a rubber valve stem to a metal valve stem really quickly. Now installation is the same as you would do any other rubber valve stem. You just hook your installer tool on and you just pull it through. Once you have it pulled through, you'll go ahead and line up your notches that are in each side of the sensor with that notch that's on the valve stem itself, and you'll go ahead and just clip it in. Once it's on there, it's on there. It's not going to come off. The only way to get it back off is just to very simply depress that middle pin and then pull it to separate. So they're very easy to interchange, and very easy to service. So once you have the new sensor installed into the wheel, you'll want to go ahead and auto-create the sensor. You'll need to make sure that you have the scan tool close to the sensor so that you can go ahead, detect it, and then create it. So this is going to program the sensor, and there is no tire pressure inside the tire. It's still de-beaded. We haven't filled it back up yet. You want to make sure that you do this before you install it on the car because it's the only way to program it. Don't mess this up. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this 2 times. If you are starting from scratch, you'll just select what vehicle year you have, the sensor that you have, and which is the frequency, and then you'll go back to programming. You'll click auto create. You'll make sure that you're within 4 inches, and you'll just make sure that the tablet is close enough to the sensor to detect it, and then it will start programming. Once it's programmed and it's set to the car, you will just finish a couple of other little steps, which is just to make sure that it's all there. So we've triggered that one. We know that it's hooked up. We know that the car knows that that's the wheel that it should be seeing, and we can go ahead, bead the tire back together, fill it up to the recommended PSI from the manufacturer, and reinstall it on the car. Now a couple of quick notes to say. There are a couple of sensors that you can get from Autel. The MX Sensor 1 is the newest one, which does both frequencies. And if you have one of the older style ones and you're trying to figure out which frequency your sensor actually is or what your vehicle is looking for, they actually have another feature on the scan tool where you can use the key fob remote to figure out what it is that you've got going on. I'm Blair with Revit Auto. Thanks for watching this video, and as always, happy motoring.